Hashtag XRP will go super high in price really fast. The fixed theory, XRP is going to jump way up in price really quickly. This is called the fixed theory. Hey everyone, I've been working on making this video for a few days now. I wrote down everything I wanted to say. I made lots of notes about what I want to tell you, but I threw all that away because I want to just talk from my brain and my heart about this topic. The fixed theory that a guy named Will Fix came up with that, I think we should honor him by speaking honestly about XRP and his theory. Will Fix was a man who died about a month and a half ago, and we're sad about that. He was a businessman. This guy had companies that helped people get out of jail in 27 different countries when he was starting out. He also owned many insurance companies, and he made a few different videos talking about this theory that I'm going to tell you about in this video. All I'm asking is if you like hearing about XRP, click that thumbs up button and let's talk about it. Now guys, most people who really know about XRP, most people who understand XRP know that when it was first made way back then, this coin was created and built to be worth a lot of money. Regular people like you and me, as we'll talk about in this video, can make this price go up to $5 to $10 if some big companies put their money into it. We could easily see XRP worth $5 to $10. No big deal. But that's not what XRP was built for. XRP was built to move huge amounts of money around. And this is what big banks from all over the world, some of the biggest banks on earth that are working with Ripple right now, do every single day. They move billions and billions of dollars. And so in this theory, what Will basically said was that Ripple has now gotten past the hard part. He talked about how when he was in the insurance business and owned these insurance companies, yes, he was used to people saying no to him. He got told no all the time. That's just how business works, or any kind of job where you try to sell things. If you work in sales, you know that getting told no is just part of it. Well, we now know for sure that Ripple has way more than 300 big companies, money companies, and country banks that they're working with. We know that there are 1,700 secret agreements that we've talked about many times that we saw in the papers from the court case, and that was years ago. Not counting all the secret agreements they've made since then, that we know that Ripple has basically made it past what he called the hard part. And what he meant by that is they've gotten past the point where people say no to them. And now Ripple is in the part where they sign people up. Signing up big banks, country banks, money companies, some of the best ones in the world. They're signing them up to join this new system that we're moving into, a new money system where we see huge amounts of buying and selling and money moving around on the computer networks. I recently heard a person who works for the government talking about how computer money technology will make every single business in the world better. And that's totally true. The difference is what people are saying right now is something that Ripple figured out years and years ago, more than 10 years. And in all this time, they've made friends with the International Money Fund, the Bank of International Settlements, big country banks, and again, many money companies that move huge amounts of money every single day. And so when you're doing this, you need a special coin that can work with many different types of money and move super fast. And that's exactly what we have with the computer money called XRP. Bitcoin was made in a way that it can't and wasn't designed to do what XRP does. And Bitcoin right now costs more than 6 figures, which means more than $100,000. We have a coin right now with XRP sitting under $4. And there are a lot of people out there saying that at the highest point of this time period, XRP will be worth 5 to 10 or even $20. And I don't think they're telling you the whole story, because that is not at all what XRP was designed to be worth. It was designed to be worth a lot of money. And so, as we see rules actually coming to this market for the first time ever, that is exactly what we've been waiting for, rules for them to turn on the switch like he said. And as he also said, agree on a price for XRP that everyone likes. Because when they went to these big money companies, he said, you're going to have to answer some questions that you don't want to get rejected for. One being, of course, the price. These big companies looking at XRP, when he first made this video, I think XRP was around 50 cents. They're going to say XRP at 50 cents with just billions of coins is not going to be able to move billions and billions and eventually trillions of dollars every day on the computer and make our customers happy. So how do they fix that rejection problem? Well, as Will Fix said, it's pretty easy that XRP is not always going to be worth a little bit of money. It needs to be worth a lot of money for one reason, so it can move huge amounts of money around. To move really big amounts of money around, Now, someone that people really respect in this business, and you probably heard the name Quincy Jones, who is a computer programmer for XDC, talked about how people often asked him, what do you think XRP's price will be? And that's almost like asking, if you're watching like a car race, what car is going to finish at what speed and when, right? Nobody knows exactly. And so we used $25,000 for this example, just like Fix did. But as he said, we don't know if it's going to be $1,000, $5,000. He used a story from Forbes McGass, INE as an example. I think they said somewhere around $56,000. But what we do know is where XRP is going to fit in. And that's what the XDC computer programmer Quincy Jones said. You have to know where it's going to fit in to know how much buying and selling, how much money, how much value, and how much money moving is going to need to happen on the computer, and where XRP is going to fit in all of this. Now, in the computer money revolution that we're in right now, XRP is ranked number 3 in place. And yet we're just now finally almost getting rules and truly seeing what these coins can actually do and how useful they are. And so a lot of people out there, like I've said, they're saying XRP will be worth $5 to $10. And that's okay. I would never tell anyone not to sell and take their money. But what we're moving into is a complete change in the money system where XRP is going to be the best, and it's not supposed to be a $5 to $10 coin for what it's really meant to do. Most of the people who will be selling at $5 to $10 bought it very, very early, and many of us bought it very, very early. But those of us that see the real dream here, many of us are looking to see it reach its full power and see this really grow into what it was supposed to do and what it's meant to do for the world, to move huge amounts of money to really change the money system. That's what XRP is designed to do and is going to do, in my personal opinion. And it's not just what I think. It is those big companies, those country banks, those big money companies around the world that have already become friends with Ripple and are waiting for that high price for XRP, which has been said by many people. I know that Linda Jones, actually who has a friend, and I know this is where it gets crazy, that a friend of an Australian bank had talked to the IMF and said it's a done deal. XRP's price is already decided, and it's set in the thousands because of what it is supposed to do for the money system, move huge amounts of money around. And so guys, I hope I explained that okay. I hope I didn't forget anything. Of course, I'll be here in the comments section below to tell you what I think about your opinions, and, we can talk more about this. But I just want everyone to know that this was what I'm calling the fix theory from Fix, talking about how Ripple has made it past the hard part. They're in the sign-up phase. They have been for a long time. We see that with the big companies. But most importantly, we have to understand the basics here. XRP was not designed to be worth a little bit of money. And so, as a regular person buying coins, if you're a regular person buying coins, okay, if you want to sell and take your money at 5 to 10, just please understand that this coin is meant to be worth something so much higher. Now, lastly, guys, I'm going to put a couple links down below, as well as a pinned comment, that if you do want to have safety for your coins, which I do think right now is more important than ever, since just having one place where your coins could fail on an exchange or a hot wallet is very, very dangerous. You want to spread out your coins. You want to get them into things like tax-free retirement accounts like I Trust Capital. I'll put a link down there for the 0.1% trading fee that they have, as well as just really good customer service, and can help you. Also, Decent Wallet will be down there if you want to take care of your coins yourself. But now, in my personal opinion, this is not a time to be looking at XRP as leaving right now. Right now is a time to be looking at it and saying this is a coin, a money tool that I can now use for myself, right? I can use it to get more money and create more wealth. You'll be able to use this to get house loans, car loans, personal loans, business loans. There's going to be a lot you're going to be able to do to make money off your XRP. And now is the perfect time to be thinking about that, in my personal opinion. Again, those are my thoughts and my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments section below. Guys, as always, I appreciate your support, and we'll see you all in the next one.